Welcome to Survivor NSFW, where we are kicking off coverage of Australian Survivor Season 2 from 2017. I hope you can hear how excited I am in my voice because I'm a huge international Survivor fan. My actual own history with Survivor NSFW, I first came to the show to help Johnny cover some Australian Survivor as we interviewed Dirty Harry, Luke Toki, Flick, a bunch of people who were on Australian Survivor All-Stars. We've also spoken to Sam Gash from this season on World's Toughest Race. We have a lot of history with Australian Survivor, and I'm so excited to start covering it now. How are you guys doing, Johnny, Matt, Karen?
Doing great.
I'm doing well.
For those of you wondering what this is about, this is a look at what we're about to cover at adfreeNSFW.com. So this preview right here is available for free at SurvivorNSFW.com or wherever you listen or watch the Survivor NSFW podcast. However, if you're like us and you miss Survivor and watching Survivor on a weekly basis like we do, we are going to have links to watch the season that we're about to discuss now as a preview with no spoilers. I've never seen it. Matt's never seen it. Karen and Zach have seen it. But each week in our secret Facebook Patreon group or either on our Patreon page, there'll be a link to watch that week's episode. And then we on Monday nights, we'll be recording a podcast discussing that episode. And then next week we'll do the same. And this is going to continue on. How many weeks are in the season?
There's 26 episodes. So
26 episodes. So if you guys have missed Survivor like we've missed Survivor, for the next 26 weeks, you'll be watching an episode of Survivor with us, and you'll be getting a podcast to follow, all available at adfreeNSFW.com. So if you've thought about becoming a patron, thought about supporting the podcast, now is the time. Check it out. Each week you can watch Survivor just like us. Now, I've never seen this season. I've seen a couple episodes of a couple other seasons. I've only watched one season all the way through. I watched Australian Survivor All-Stars, and I have that in my top 3 seasons of all time. Zach has this even higher than that.
yeah, this might be number 1 season of all time. So I can't wait to get into it and to see your guys' reactions to this season. What we're going to do tonight, I'm going to walk through just some kind of big picture changes that go into Australian Survivor versus US Survivor, what to expect, explain a little bit about why we are watching this season in particular. And then we're going to take a look at the cast and get some knee-jerk reactions from Matt, from Johnny, and Karen and I will try to piece together everything you need to know to go into season 2 of Australian Survivor and know all the background that you might want. So the first thing I want to cover a little bit is the fact that Australian Survivor has a really complicated history. So the All-Stars season did just air, but there are 5 seasons of this modern rebooted version of Australian Survivor. There are 2 other seasons that came before that you may see floating around. So I know we've had comments as we're posting that we're doing this of saying, well, it's actually season 4. It's not season 2. Yes, you're technically correct. There are 2 seasons of Australian Survivor. One aired in 2002 on Channel 9. That actually filmed and aired instead of Survivor Marquesas. So people in Australia had never seen Survivor Marquesas. Oh, the joy to have lived without Boston Rob for a while. So that's what they had going on in Australia.
What a perfect world in which Marquesas didn't exist.
Yeah, so there's an alternative universe that if you live in Australia, then Boston Rob doesn't exist. Maybe I want to move to Australia.
Yeah.
There you go. So that aired on Channel 9. That was, I think a lot of people hold it near and dear to their heart. It is not maybe that highly regarded. I won't get a bat for it too much, but I've personally never seen it. If you're interested, Ben Waterworth from Survivor Oz has a podcast covering the history of it. Check that out. It's pretty interesting, I think. Then in 2006, they gave it another go after the first one didn't get renewed. And Channel 7 instead took over the property, and they produced a celebrity edition of Survivor.
I actually tried to watch that because one of the celebrities was Kim from US Dancing with the Stars. I made it through about an episode and a half. I just couldn't. It was bad.
Was it comparable to I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, or was it more Survivor-esque?
kind of a combination of the two, but it's a very short season. I think it was like 25 days, and they were all crazy. Yeah.
Anything with a hint of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here has the makings of the worst show ever.
Yeah. I didn't see anything crazy, because I just got bored and stopped watching. So maybe there's some amazing footage out there, but again, they didn't get picked up. So let's assume I didn't miss much.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a 10-year lag then between that Celebrity season and then in 2016, Channel 10 gets the deal with Endemol Shine, and they produce what we're thinking of now as modern Australian Survivor. That first season airs in 2016. And then we're going to be looking at the next season after that. So the 2017 variant.
Is Jonathan the host of the first two failed seasons or no?
He is not. No.
So because so for those of you that have never watched Australian Survivor, Jeff Probst is great. I mean, I was there for my first season for 38 out of 39 days. He had one flub in that entire span. I mean, Jeff comes out there, he's like, come on in, guys. Today we're gonna blah 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 blah. Never a flub the entire time. The one flub that he did have, I didn't catch. No one around me caught. And it probably wasn't even really a flub. There was just one word that in his head wasn't perfect. So he's like, let me just run it through one more time. And of course, running it through one more time, absolutely perfect, absolutely amazing. And Jeff is the glue that holds the U.S. version of Survivor together. I mean, he's the host. He has his Jeffisms that we've grown to love and or hate. I see both sides of the coin. Jonathan, on the other hand, he's very Jeff Probst like, but he's his own person, and it's really amazing to see. What I saw with his interactions with the castaways on the episodes that I've seen, and especially in the All Stars, they love each other. I mean, they're friends, and it reminded me of. Remember at the end of Tribal Council on Winners at War when the Edge of Extinction people all hugged Jeff after allowing their loved ones to come. That's pretty much like every day with Jonathan and these guys, and they talk shit, but but when you see Jeff talk shit to someone or someone talk shit back to Jeff, vice versa, you see they really don't potentially like each other. Case in point, Johnny Fairplay. with Jonathan in the cast, you see that same playful interaction or intermingling, and it's playful.
And same thing on Twitter, right? Same thing. US, Big Brother, Survivor, the hosts are, they are stars in their own right. And, if they're on Twitter, it's, they're just hyping the show. I'm just thinking Arissa Cox and Big Brother Canada, and the same thing with Jonathan. I feel like he's a fan.
Yeah.
Right.
But do you think it's because Jeff Probst, I know he takes his job very serious.
He's a very serious person.
So I'm thinking that maybe just the level of him being like, dude, this is a serious thing. We're not fucking around. I'm not trying to make friends. I'm producing a show here. And I think just that seriousness that Probst has is what, as much as you guys are saying that, Zach, Johnny, that, man, this Australian Survivor, hyping it up. I have high expectations for this to be a great season, right? But I still, in the grand scheme of things, without seeing Australian Survivor, think that U.S. Survivor is, a top tier, kind of like Big Brother and Amazing Race are kind of underneath Survivor. The world probably looks at U.S. Survivor in a higher light in general. Sure. So I'm thinking that
it's the originator, right? Anything else is if it does something better, it's only because it learned from the US variant. I definitely and Jonathan LaPaglia, the host, he learned a lot from Jeff. He lives in LA as well, and he studied with Jeff of how to be a host of Survivor. So
but I just think that
is he a producer?
He is not a producer, no, which is also why his Twitter and Instagram are so great, because he will throw shots at the show.
Yeah. And I think that's the difference of being talent versus production. So, this is Jeff's deal versus, Jonathan is just an employee.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
On the
I
other
can't
hand,
wait to
it's
see
possible
it.
to the Jeff, like you said, he's a serious guy. He takes himself seriously. And Jonathan, I have a feeling just as a person, takes himself less seriously. And it comes across on the show.
his social media is hilarious.
Right. But even on the show, you'll feel like he's just super laid back. And I like it. I like, because Matt, I understand what you're saying. For me, at first, when I started watching Australian Survivor or any international Survivor, I'm trying to even think what the first season I ever watched, but it's like, it can't be Survivor without Probst. And Probst is definitely missed, but, there's other hosts out there that will also bring their own thing to Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is probably the weirdest part of watching International Survivor is not having Jeff there. So it'll probably take a couple episodes to get used to it.
Yeah, and he throws out some of the same, you got to dig deep, and you get the Probstisms. It's fun.
Yeah.
So and people talk about they're just like if Jeff decides to stop doing this, who would replace him? Would it be Boston Rob? Would it be Rob C? And Boston Rob, absolutely not. I wouldn't have a problem with Rob C. However, my 1,000% vote is for Jonathan. I mean, once again, Matt, you see this guy. I don't know how well he knows his craft season 2, because we saw a maturation process in Jeff Probst as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Jonathan has the benefit of watching 10 plus years of Jeff Probst to see what worked and didn't work, and kind of steal from the best of.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm anxious to see what a season 2 Jonathan's like. But yeah, I think the guy's gold.
Yeah, the other cool thing about him that I wanted to throw out is I love when they're doing these like big physical challenges and he's introducing them. And Jonathan's build, he could go out there and whoop their ass too. He could do all these challenges that he's introducing. Whereas with Jeff, you don't quite get that. But Jonathan brings an intensity to it because of his build. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, he's a big dude, and everyone else on the show is a very big dude.
Yeah. Cool. So the next thing to note are some of the changes in format that we're going to get. So the prize money is different. So it's 500,000 Australian dollars, but it is tax free. So that equates to just over 300,000 US is the equivalent.
So it's about the same as winning Big Brother.
Yeah.
Or the Amazing Race, because you have to split it with somebody. Yeah, that's real money. I'm fine. I'm not mad at that. That's fine.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe more controversially, there are more contestants. In case you watched US Survivor and thought, man, you should really throw 4 more people out there. That's what they did. There's going to be 24 people on the beach all at once to meet on the first episode.
And is there a reason behind that?
Yeah, so a lot of these format changes are because of the way the Australian networks function. So some of the other things I'm going to bring up, the episodes are way longer. Even without the commercials, they're going to be between 1 and 2 hours long an episode. So, we often have asked for that in the US. If these are going to be so complicated, can we get longer episodes, please? So they've got that. They also air 3 episodes a week. So Australian Survivor does what a lot of Australian shows do, which is we're going to air this and we're just going to blitz through it all at once. So that's sort of like all that's on TV for 2 months, and then they go on to the next show. So because of that, they have to have a certain number of episodes. I think the network says they must have 26 episodes. So that leads 24 hours.
That's what Harry was telling us. It like the network says you can't give us 26 episodes. We don't want your show.
Yep.
We require 26 episodes.
So how many days does that equate to then? So it's 24
get ready.
This season is 55 days. The first
2 seasons are 55 days.
And then they cut to 50, I think. Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet, actually. Yeah. I'm liking what I'm hearing so far. I would like, if US Survivor had maybe 2 episodes a week, one being 60 minutes, let's say, the other being 90, the 90-minute one being the Tribal Council episode and really getting in deep, that would be sweet, I think.
Yeah, you can, like Tribal Council is a good 20 minutes every
on Australian Survivor. Yeah.
But it also gives them time for all of these, these character moments, which we almost don't see anymore on US Survivor. You really get to know these people much better.
So even with 24 people, they're telling a pretty good story of many of these people, because sometimes on US Survivor it's like anyone pre-jury, the story is just like, yeah, they're like, unless you're Francesca or something and you're notorious for being voted out first twice, there's really not a whole lot of meat on the bone there. With the Australian Survivor, do you guys think that you really kind of know and fall in love with many characters?
I would say almost all. Yeah, I think in this
Almost
case,
all.
I would say there's like 2 misses of 24 people, which is fantastic.
Like on Australian All Stars, I mean, like, I knew everyone's name. There's a person I hated, and when that person left, I think I cried 4 times that episode. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? I hate this person. Why am I crying 4 fucking times
on someone you hate?
Yes. That's how good that's how amazing the character development is.
Hey, Johnny, I have great news. He's back.
Oh, sweet. Is he on this?
The guy you hate is on this season. So
no,
we won't spoil it for Matt.
So, and I do want to ask this, you know, before we really dive into, like, I have zero fucking clue. The only thing I know about Australian Survivor is I hear about Dirty Harry, and I know Russell Hantz played this shit one time. My question to you is, when Johnny and I watch this, are we going to say, oh my God, that's the fucking Rupert, and that's the Cochran, and that's the Boston Rob? Or are they just literally on their own level of character type?
Both.
Mm-hmm.
Both? Okay.
Yeah, you'll see some familiarity, but there's also a lot of character types. Well, I think Australian culture is different enough that you're getting a lot of archetypes of characters that we don't have here.
Yeah.
And they're also doing a really good job with just casting really interesting people. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I don't once again, I don't know how episode or how season 2 does, but I remember I watched the season that Russell played on, what Contenders versus Champions. I watched like I think I watched the first 4 episodes that season. I tapped out. And I remember like on episode 4, they're still Moana, they're still showing footage of her from real life prior to the game, telling her backstory on episode 4. That's how amazing they are at character development.
It'll happen even deeper in the season than that, because they have the time to kind of really focus on these people.
Yeah. Like, how amazing is that, man? Like, just think of, like, you know, just like, you know, you see, you're going into a powerful moment with this character, and it's just like, you know, just to drive that home even more, it's just like, you know, here's footage that we filmed from before the game started in their natural environment, like, you know, at work, like, you know, she's a professional rugby player, so her on the rugby field, like, talking, you know, it's just like
kind of like early Survivor. I remember, like, you know what I mean? I don't know what it was, but like after Survivor ended, there would be where are they now? I remember
we used to see Lex and all that. Yeah.
And that was fucking killer, dude.
Like, and even up until Amazon, they would film footage with the players at their job or at their home and include that in the storytelling.
Well, they steal that in Australia, and you're just like, just that alone, like made me tear up, and I'm just like, oh my God, you're doing it right. I remember good TV.
Because to think about, like, you know, putting myself in this perspective of, like, if they came and like filmed, you know, me and my wife and my kids, and then even if like they filmed me having to like say goodbye to them, or even if it was like dramatized or whatever, like not even like, that would be like, holy shit. It brings the man, like the other day was funny. I was thinking of that what's Ty Pennington, where they build people's houses and shit.
Extreme Home Makeover.
Yeah, Extreme Home Makeover. And I was like, man, I remember crying every fucking time on that show and seeing these backstories. And well, I love that type of thing on TV.
The difference is like say you're on Survivor Karamoa, and they're like, Matt, the BMX guy, married with 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy to say, and it's easy and quick to process. and skip right over, right? Like, you know, like you give me all those words and my takeaway is he's the BMX guy. Boom.
Right.
Like, you know, because I got nothing else as a frame of reference versus, you know, you at home doing tricks on your bike, giving your hot wife a kiss goodbye and crying, hugging your boys goodbye.
Right.
And then it's just like, oh shit, Matt, the BMX dad with the hot wife and the 2 kids.
Well,
I got it.
Right, and it's crazy because I know they try. It's like wardrobe department in U.S. Survivor tries to do that by putting the guy in a suit, like putting the Savage in a suit and tie, like this is the attorney guy or whatever the hell he is, and you know Van's shoes and this is the skater BMX guy. But exactly what you said, to be able to show it, that would immediately make me be able to put 2 and 2 together 100%, where I'm not having to go fucking half through the season and be like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean?
And you go from a 1-dimensional to a 3-dimensional character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And I think that can lead to my next point, which is the main reason I love Australian Survivor, which is I think it's a perfect blend of old school and new school Survivor in that the gameplay quickly becomes very new school, very savvy, while at the same time it maintains this old school ethos where we're getting this character development. And also some of the stuff you hear fans bitch about all the time, the Final 4 fire making. We want a Final 2 back again. We want hands on a hard idol. We want the auction. Australian Survivor is going to do all that stuff. They listened to the fans and they brought back all the shit that we love and miss about old school Survivor.
Every one of those things.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just in general, like they never learn that quote unquote lesson that every challenge must be an obstacle course followed by a puzzle. Right? They didn't get that memo.
Right.
So they are much more creative about what they do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty positive their budget for most challenges is $4.
But that actually makes them more creative.
Yeah.
Well,
which is fine.
Dude, there's, you know, I forget what season, you know, Fireman Tom and that Ian dude that lasted forever on that challenge. Yeah. That's one of the most memorable challenges in my mind in Survivor history. In the simplest form. Yeah. You don't have to I mean, it is beautiful.
They didn't go over something and under something and then do a problem.
And it's like, I get it. It's like, it's cool, especially with like kids and American Ninja Warrior and obstacle courses. And all,
yeah, but go watch fun. American Ninja Warrior.
Right.
Well, I don't mind if they do it a few times a season. I mean, it's fine. They do have the budget now. They want to build big things, fine. But they seem to be doing it at least once an episode, if not twice. And like I said, I feel like in their case, having that huge budget has almost made them like less creative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because there will be a challenge on this season, and I don't want to spoil it, but the budget was $0. You will know it when you see it, and I would argue it is definitely top 5 and possibly the best Survivor challenge ever. Partly because the challenge itself was so ridiculous, plus what people did with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. They get very creative on this. And the other thing with the pacing, just before we move on, is I know, like, I loved Winners at War. Winners at War is a top tier season for me, but there were still moments where I was like, hold on, slow down. What is happening? Why are these people making these moves? It's constant gameplay. They can slow down a little bit, and I don't think any moves happen this season that you don't understand why all the people involved do what they're doing. So you can actually evaluate their decisions, and it's not moving at such a blistering pace that you can't catch your breath between big moves.
Yeah, when you have the winner of season 40 calling you every week going, they're not showing it, they're not showing it, they're not showing it, they're not showing it, they're not showing it. Like every episode, he was just like, he goes, I can't tell you. I'm going to call you after. I'm going to call you. And when the winner of the season is not happy with what they're showing, that's not good. No. I mean, like the guy that finished last place, he has a valid argument. But the guy that won is not happy.
No, we interviewed him for 2 hours. He's telling us stuff we didn't get to see, and he's still going, hey, come on, you got to ask me more. I got more stuff I got to tell you. That's wild. That's awesome. So I guess that brings us to one thing that you should know, Matt, going into this. There are 2 non-elimination episodes that are sort of the controversial thing that people hate about Australian Survivor is they will have to have 2 non-elimination episodes per season. So kind of like Amazing Race with the keep on racing. or
So
you're
I don't want any spoilers,
Yeah.
but I am going to state
Yeah.
and don't even fucking say yes or no. But my brain is thinking, so do they have tribal council? And then they say, "Oh, psych, we're not voting." You know what I mean? Or do they just not have a tribal council? That's an interesting thing. I mean, on Amazing Race, sometimes it doesn't bother me when it's not elimination, especially when it's someone that I'm like, wow, I'm glad they at least have a chance, right?
Mhm.
But that's pretty fascinating to me. I did not know this.
And all right, so on US Survivor, where in the past there has been times in which some people think that, maybe this is production's favorite, or maybe that person's production's favorite, maybe that, Ben sure is good at finding idols. Well, in lieu of that, it's, instead of, it looks like Ben's going home tonight. Well, tonight, no one's going home. That works out perfectly. So then we don't have to put idols under his pillow.
Right. And well, that's cool. So these people will not know necessarily when the non-elimination would be. So they could be fucking going into some tribal potentially.
Yeah,
freaking out or whatever.
Guns, like fully armed, bazookas, at the ready, and it's just like, oh, by the way, I wouldn't shoot your bazooka because, and it's just like, oh fuck, the bazooka's armed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It also speaks to the way Australian Survivor does twists, which I think, the US has gone the way of the twist is the season premise. It's the Ghost Island. It's the Island of the Idols. It's the Edge of Extinction. Australian Survivor is still in the mode of here's the twist that will impact like maybe 2 episodes or 1 episode. So it's like more bite-sized twists that'll come at you, like a mutiny, like a kidnapping, like these kinds of things we've seen before. And this season features one of my favorite twists of all time. And it's so simple. It is the most simple twist ever. And it's a moral dilemma. And I wish that US Survivor would adopt this because there's no gameplay impact other than what the player does with it. And I think the best twists are the ones that just give the players more tools. So it's a lot of fun.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So I feel like we should, at this point, that's kind of everything that I think you should know and expect about what's going to be different, what you might see in Australian Survivor that is maybe unfamiliar if you haven't seen it before.
I do have a question.
Sure.
I know this has been brought up, I think, by Fair Play before.
They're all nude.
How hard is how hard is it to understand their accents?
I do not have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to think I'm pretty smart. I like to think I'm one of the smartest survivors to ever play the game. Not the smartest, but I feel like I'm up there. But I had difficulty on champions versus challengers. And that's honestly why I tapped out on season. Like it was tough for me. And I don't know why. And same with Game of Thrones. Like, I think I watched the first 2 episodes probably 3 times, tapped out, and then finally I was just like, wait a second. I have dumb friends that watch Game of Thrones. I have to be able to fucking understand it. And then one day just something clicked. Like, I don't know if I was, Game of Thrones dyslexic or if I'm fucking Australian dyslexic. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, I think it was like the second episode of All Stars. It just clicked, and I'm just like, I'm good. I understand every word they say. It's not a problem. So hopefully you don't walk in with the same handicap that I did, Matt. But I can tell you that I did suffer from it, and I don't know. Like as I said, it was a mental thing. Maybe I was on my fucking phone. I don't know. So, but I had zero difficulty. And do we have subtitles or do you know?
I do not believe there's subtitles, but it depends. Like, I think Google sometimes puts them in there.
Okay.
So potentially there might be subtitles with it, but they're not hard coded. So
okay.
Johnny did say they're naked all the time, which is kind of not 100% a lie. The last thing I really forgot to mention is given that it's Australian television, this is the best show for Survivor NSFW to be covering because you're allowed to say bitch and shit and dick and all kinds of stuff on TV. And there's a lot of butts. So there is a lot more nudity. The stuff that they would blur in the US is not quite so blurred in Australia.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, but this season, one problem with this season is it does not have David's butt.
I was about to say, can we put Flick in this season, please?
Yeah, we're skipping Flick season, which I feel bad about. But that's a good segue to why we're skipping season 1 and not just going through Australian Survivor in order. Basically, we decided we want to bring Survivor back into everyone's lives. What are the top international seasons we can check out? Almost universally, the ones in contention are this season, 2017 Australian Survivor, 2019 Australian Survivor, and the first of the modern South African Survivor seasons. I'm super happy we chose this one. There are a couple characters who we've gotten to interview on this podcast before. This season also is just fun. We need a fun season of Survivor in 2020, and this is, I think, exactly what we're all going to like. But that being said, we are bypassing season 1, and I think we should cover a little bit about what happened in that season. And one note, if you're going to watch the link that we share with you, it spoils season 1 in the first minute and 10 seconds. Who wins, how people vote, everything. So it's an epic buildup. But if you don't want to be spoiled on season 1 of Modern Australian Survivor, skip to 1 minute and 11 seconds and you'll be good. You will not see the winner crowned and they will never mention it again for the rest of the episode. So you're good to go there. But season 1, the real reason we're skipping it is, if you want to say old school Survivor goes through up to China or maybe up to Heroes Villains, Australian Survivor pretty much has one old school season, and it's the first season, and it's where you've got a mix of people who are super fans and people who've never heard the word Survivor before, and they're still having debates like you saw in Borneo, like Karen saw with Professor Tim, of our alliance is evil. And you have people unwilling to form alliances, and instead they're going by the Australian concept of mateship.
Yes, and if you try to watch this season, if you must watch it, then yes, do it with a drink in your hand and drink every time they say mateship, and you probably won't make it to the end of many of the episodes.
What does mateship mean?
I like friendship, like being buddies.
Get along with everybody. Mateship as opposed to, strategy and lying and all those bad things.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is why we're not watching it.
If someone said the word mateship on US Survivor playing against me, I would double check for cameras and just punch them in the face as hard as I could.
There was one guy in this season who I know actually, who is a super fan and tried to play a modern game of Survivor. And it didn't go over too well.
Yeah, almost anyone who tried to play Survivor was immediately smacked down and voted out because they're a snake or they're evil or whatever.
Yes, being a snake, that's the worst thing you can be. It's the opposite of mateship.
Yeah, exactly. It does have a lot to love, though. There are some really good standout characters that return for All Stars. The aforementioned Flick, Nick Adanza, Brooke, Phoebe, Lee, Custard Arms, Castadine. Is that?
Old Custard Arms.
So there's a lot to love there. I do really like that season. I would go to bat for it, but it's not everyone's cup of tea, and strategy certainly takes a backseat to character development.
There is an argument with season 1 that the final episode makes everything worthwhile, but it's a long slog to get there.
Yeah, 55 days, 26 episodes, 22 ejections to get to one episode. Yeah,
exactly.
That's a lot to ask.
Yeah.
It is potentially the most epic final immunity challenge of all time, though. They've got these, it's hands on a hard idol. And in case hands on a hard idol wasn't intense enough in US Survivor, they put them on the side of a cliff with waves crashing into them in the middle of the night, lit by fire, with just getting dumped on by waves. It's amazing.
And their families were able to watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, your families come out to watch the final deal.
Yes.
That's fucking awesome.
Is that so cool?
Dude.
Dude.
I mean, the thing that so when I did Durham Warriors Survival Challenge at Bob Crowley's, my wife, I did it twice. The first time I played, my wife came out and she watched all the challenges. So it was like although it wasn't real Survivor, it was the closest thing to Survivor that I can talk about. And it was so cool that she got to watch me do it. And I got to see her out there. And man, what a fucking cool thing. Out of anything, you can throw away the rites of passage and the auction and whatever. You bring the families out for the final fucking challenge. That's badass. That trumps all.
Yeah. Waterworks.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and really the last thing I want to note before we start looking at this cast is just that international seasons can be really erratic. I know the 3 big English-speaking franchises outside of the US are South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. South Africa seems to like go on pause all the time. They did just announce they're going to film another season very soon. They figured out how to make it work. New Zealand is on permanent hiatus, I believe. And
I know my friend Lisa Stanger, who won season 2, Lisa Holmes now. Apparently she killed the franchise. It was a great season.
It was too likable, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I really do think, yes, I'm biased because I mean, I knew her very slightly when she played. But yeah, I felt like it was a great season. She was a great winner, and I don't know why it's not coming back.
Yeah, I think budget's always going to be an issue for a New Zealand franchise. But that being said, those 2 franchises are sort of erratic, but the Australian Survivor is thriving. We were supposed to be getting 2 seasons a year until COVID happened. So they were going to move to the US model of 2 seasons of Australian Survivor a year. And we just had an All-Stars. This is kind of like a primo time to get into Australian Survivor if you have not seen it before.
Yeah. And Matt, like Channel 10 is like one of their big stations over there in Australia. So for like Australian All-Stars, like all the buses, like the main mode of public transportation in Australia had the faces of the All-Stars. Like, I mean, like what was it, like 3 or 4 per bus? I mean, like it was like, not like the whole, like so cool. Like, I'm just like, oh man, like, they're not getting US money, but they're getting
they're rock stars.
Super fame. Yeah.
Like, when I was over there in 2017, I got my what do they call Burger King? Hungry Jacks, I think. And my box has the cast on it with the logo, and they're promoting Australian Survivor on my fast food. It's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
they're really good. And I mean, like, in the TV station, they're always doing like events like throughout the season, doing buff giveaways, like at weekly, with cast members. So, and not eliminated cast members. Like, it's not like, they're still on the island. You can't see them. They're just like, hey, we have so-and-so and they're right here. They're still in the game and they're going to be here giving out buffs. Come on by, get yourself some ice cream.
That's great. Do you guys want to take a look at the cast? I'm excited to hear some reactions from people who don't know these people. All right.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're listening to the audio, I have the official cast photo pulled up on the video feed, and I will name all the contestants as we go through, but we'll just go from left to right, back row down to front row.
Will that picture also be available on SurvivorNSFW.com underneath?
That picture will be on SurvivorNSFW.com. Yep.
Okay. Actually, they'll be. Are you going to include both pictures or just one? Just.
Hey, I'll throw them both up there. Let's go crazy.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, but
you'll have a photo of the cast, and you'll also have a photo of the cast with their names next to their pictures.
Okay, so we're going by the photo of the cast, and we're going top row left to right, and then bottom row left to right.
Yep. Perfect.
Yes. Okay.
The first guy we have is this guy with the cutoff shirt, and it looks to be a visor. This is Adam Parkin. He is 40, and he's a professional poker player.
All right. I've never seen this guy before. So a couple of these people I've seen because of All-Stars and stuff. I've never seen this guy. He's very Jean Robert-esque. And I'm thinking, for me personally, just first impressions, for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I mean, looking at him, he's a beast. Like, he's big. I mean, like you said, a lot of these guys,
they're all big.
This is another difference with Australian Survivor. And US Survivor, I do think is a little bit better about trying to balance the challenges. And it's not like all of the challenges are strength challenges, but on Australian Survivor, when they do a strength challenge, it is a strength challenge. Mm-hmm. And yeah, these people are massive.
He looks like
Yeah,
a
I knew
nice
Dirty
guy.
Harry was like the smallest dude out there, and when we interviewed him, we asked how big he was, and like he's bigger than I am. I'm 6'2", 210, and he looks like the tiniest dude out there. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
really? He's that big?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it-
because he looks like I would have guessed from just watching him on Australian. Sorry, these 5'10" because everybody
Yeah.
else is bigger
Yeah,
than him.
Dirty Harry is like, I mean, he's the small guy out there on All Stars, Matt, and I'm just like, okay, well, if Johnny Fairplay's playing Australian Survivor, that's me, and I'm just how big are you? And what 6'2", 220, and I'm just like, fuck me, like, you're the little guy, and he's like, oh yeah,
Yeah. Dude, this guy looks like Michael Pan, the Survivor,
He does.
Like he kind of, I mean, not identical, but it reminds me, this guy's got a good smile. He seems like he's going to be, a nice dude, but, maybe, I mean, it says poker player, maybe a little annoying, maybe a little fake. Maybe this guy is going to try too hard in the game, but looking just through the cast, what I do like about what I see so far, I mean, you have some attractive people, but you also have just some people like original Survivor, all different kind of normal everyday people here. So this doesn't seem like a guy that might make it super far into the game, but we shall see.
Poker players famously don't. So
he's 6'6".
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude's huge.
Is that insane?
Yes.
yeah, and he's definitely not the biggest dude out there.
Yeah, it's not like he's head and shoulders above it. Like they're all that big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6 fucking 6.
Guess what? I'm never playing Australian Survivor.
Next to Adam's right is Sarah Talik. She is 22 and she's a model. She is also no stranger to reality TV. She was on The Face Australia, which is a modeling show with, what's the model that does that? Is that Naomi Campbell?
I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, she seems very petite. I don't know how starvation plays in Survivor, but she doesn't have a whole lot of meat on her bones. She's very pretty. She kind of reminds me of Sebastian's girlfriend, Jenna, like a Jenna type.
Jenna Bowman.
Yeah.
Jenna Bowman. Jenna Bowman now, not pregame.
Okay.
Yeah, she reminds me of a
She blossomed.
And but yeah, I like her already.
Yeah.
She seems like a cute chick, but we'll see. I mean, the model and the runner up on this show. I mean, could she be like the typical American, like former Miss Missouri, Hope Driscoll, like on my season, or there's always a former pageant queen. I'll be interested to see when she gets playing in the game, like what her gameplay is going to be.
I had no idea how hard this was going to be to hold back as I'm listening to you guys speculate on this.
I'm biting my lip right now.
Yeah, I'm sitting on my hands.
I think she's cute as fuck, and I would like to mate shift with her.
Mate shift?
Yeah, mate shift. Yes, I made my own word.
Oh my God.
I would like to confuse them on the island, and they're just like, "Oh, fair play. I'd like to make mate ship," and I'm like, "Nope." Trying to mate shift with Sarah.
Dude.
Oh man. Next up, we've got Peter Conti. He is 22 and he's in digital advertising.
So this guy looks to be like a Kobe Archer type, based off his out. And I'm just going strictly. I've never heard this guy speak.
That's the fun of it.
he looks like a
Kevin,
like a young
Kevin from Big Brother
contestant. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
This looks like somebody that I think will be a super fun character. Hopefully, bringing what I like in those type of players. He could be straight. he looks gay to me in his salmon shorts, which is that's not a dog. I'm just looking at, like I said, I've never watched any videos. 22 years old, that is pretty young. I like looking at the age. I mean, Survivor, sometimes has a younger cast, but 22 is young. I mean, it's like a Todd Herzog type character. So I'm excited to see this guy play.
You see Kobe, I see Kevin, Big Brother, and that's not a compliment. Not Kevin's first season, Kevin's last season. Yeah.
Quiet, reserved.
Underwhelming.
Okay. Next up, we've got a guy who's certainly not underwhelming. If you're looking at this picture, you might recognize him as The Bachelor Australia currently. But this is back before he was The Bachelor. This is his first appearance on television. This is Lockie. He's 27 and he's an adventure guide.
Yeah, 6'4", Matt. And possibly one of the biggest studs I've ever seen in the history of Survivor.
Well, this guy reminds me of one of those. I mean, that's pretty tall, like a Malcolm type character. Like,
now he's Burton Roberts on steroids.
So he looks like a rugby player, former rugby player or a football dude. I think this guy's gonna kill it in challenges. But first of all, he's got a beard. Secondly, I'm getting a good vibe from his photo here. I think that he's going to be a likable guy. I think he's going to be dominant if you have a physical challenge where it's like a one-on-one fight somebody off a little floating island in the water. I think this guy's going to go apeshit and destroy motherfuckers.
That's every challenge pre-merge, Matt.
Yeah.
Oh wow, hell yeah!
And every one of these guys basically are 3/4 of the cast. Yeah.
Yeah. The description you just gave is every male that's ever played Australian Survivor is the description you just gave.
But I think this guy's going to be a real likable dude.
I mean, he's the Bachelor. He's the current Bachelor right now. So I mean, like, they're not picking some asshole to be the Bachelor.
Right. Hell yeah.
They might. Probably be a better show.
The beard's a nice segue, as the next guy we've got in the cast photo is, I was looking for his name in my list of professions. Like, where the hell is Tarzan? He's listed under here as Mark something.
Mark H.
Mark H. And no, he's Tarzan, man.
Yeah, he's Tarzan.
He's a lime farmer.
Yeah, Mark Hurlar.
Yeah.
Well, this dude's beard is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy.
He's Rupert.
Well, I look at it. Yeah, I
he's
understand
Rupert.
that, but I think he. I'm hoping to get more of a Keith Nail vibe than a Rupert vibe. He's a lot smaller, so I don't know if it's the way this picture is taken.
No,
he's big.
He's big
Rupert.
Too. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
he's Rupert.
This dude on beard alone is high on my list of characters.
Yeah, I said on a patron Q&A last night that I gave a list of who I'm most excited for Matt to see.
Yeah.
I need to retroactively change that list. I cannot wait to see Matt love Tarzan and Johnny hate Tarzan, and those two go back and forth on this, because I'm calling it right now.
I guarantee it. I hate Tarzan. I think I follow him on Instagram, by the way.
It's okay, Matt. I'm with you on this.
Okay, that's awesome.
Who are you with, Karen?
With Matt. I love Tarzan too.
Okay.
It's 3 against 1 here, Matt. John.
I would like to think Zach's with me secretly.
I'm pretty Tarzan agnostic, so I think that makes me more in Johnny's camp than Matt's camp.
Damn, look at there.
But
Hey,
there's a lot to like with all these people.
Hey, mate ship.
Yeah, mate ship. Not mate shift. We're doing that with other people. Cool. So Kate is up next. She is 47. She's a financial executive.
I liked her better when she was T-Bird on Survivor Africa.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This is T-Bird to a T. I mean, come on. She's an old, financial executive.
Flight attendant, same thing.
Yeah. So it seems though, I mean, I'm looking at the whole cast photo. She's one of the older ones, and she could, I would say motherly kind of figure to these young
Mother
women,
hen.
but I also think financial executive could be a super cutthroat businesswoman type that goes into these crazy meetings and deals with a bunch of high rolling men on big time deals. I could be totally fucking wrong, but I think she could be what was on Ben Heroes Hustlers? Who's the
Chrissy.
chick that? Yeah, I think she could be like a Chrissy bitchy attitude type player. But yeah, it looks just like T-Bird, but we shall see.
Yeah. See, I don't like. I mean, what the fuck's gonna happen? It doesn't like no one's gonna fucking come to my house and be like, you were fucking wrong. But it's so crazy. Like, I feel that they do such a tight job of typecasting on the US version to where when you see their picture, you pretty much figured them out. Whereas I guess they're just so socially different in Australia that, people dress different that do certain things than they do in the US. So they're not, as a US viewer, they're not as typecast for me. So like you look at a cast list or you watch the first like 4 minutes of an episode and then, fast forward to, episode 3 and it's just like, holy shit. Like, is this my new best friend, Kent? Versus, like I'm about to shit on this guy for 15 minutes coming up.
Right.
So, it's, as I said, I don't know if it's the social differences between the US and Australia that makes it different just optically for me. And I would say for most, but as I said, it doesn't really matter if I guess incorrectly. But I think me and Matt collectively we're on the. I think she could be a hybrid of T-Bird and Chrissy.
All right. And just so you know, I will go back and revisit these predictions.
Oh, I'm sure.
Soundboard for the end of the season and just shit on you guys for 15 minutes.
Yes.
Next up is the guy in the back with the hat. This is AK Knight. He's 29 and he's a wedding DJ.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I think this guy will be. This guy seems like this dude literally seems like the jolly dude that would, if I go to the brewery down the street from my house, this guy is coming to drink craft beer. He's down to have a good time. He seems like a guy that after high school never really figured out really a career. He kind of seems like a dude that's, immature for his age. I mean, hey, I got nothing to talk. I'm fucking immature as fuck, but he just seems like one of those, at the brewery, never really did much after high school, and he's a wedding DJ. I mean, fuck it. He looks exactly like his fucking bio says.
I'm sending hold on, 53 minutes. I'm sending this to fucking AK right now.
But he seems like a guy that'll be fun to hang out with, right? He seems like a.
Oh yeah, I mean, you just shit on him for 6 minutes, Matt. We got it.
Oh man, that is one we need to come back and revisit within the first couple episodes because what Matt just said is really interesting, and I actually have some questions for AK after hearing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the fifth on. All right, so I saw AK on All Stars, and I had my opinion, and that opinion changed. But we're told stuff throughout All Stars about season 2, and so
you just fucking spoiled it.
Well, no, here, Matt. Here's the thing. From this season and from all seasons, the people who return for All Stars is no indication of placement.
None.
There are pre-merge, there are merge boot, there is jury, there is winners, there's runners up, there's all over the board. They were willing to go back to like first and second boots to bring people back. So don't.
Okay. So that's not a like, fuck, this guy's gonna make it deep and
No.
Right.
No, it doesn't say that at all.
Characters more than players.
I'm just saying the way he played his second time versus the way he played the first time.
But I think this guy
Different
could
style.
be
Like
I think
you know, good players, come with a different game. Pretty much anyone other than Russell Hantz that has played Survivor second time.
yeah.
That's this guy. He's anyone other than Russell Hantz that has played Survivor.
I think this guy is going to be liked by the females. I think I can picture this guy strategizing and having the chicks really kind of cling on to this dude and really be attracted to his fun personality and really strategize. I'm thinking this guy is going to have an alliance with a lot of chicks.
Okay. A ladies' man who peaked in high school, AK Knight.
That's right. That's right.
And AK, I cannot wait for you to watch this.
Moving down the line, we have Annalise Wilson. She is 23 and she's listed as a student.
I want to refer to her as Annalise.
Oh,
but no, she reminds me. First impression, she reminds me of Kimmy, like Kimmy first season of Survivor, which was
was it Kimmy Kassenberg?
Yeah, Kimmy. She reminds me of a Kimmy Kassenberg type player. What is she? Annalise Wilson, 23 student. I think maybe
Matt Bishop with that AK charm that gets all the ladies.
Yeah. I mean, she looks cute. I'm thrilled to see her. I mean, she's young, but she doesn't look dumb to me. I think she's gonna come with some fire and some flirtation, and I think her and AK are gonna have an alliance together. I think them being pictured in this photo together is almost a what do they call it? Like foreshadowing of an alliance.
I think it's not a spoiler to say that her brother has also played Survivor.
Wow, right on.
But not on this season.
Yeah, not on this season.
Yeah, I got nothing.
She's hard to go off of.
What's that?
She's hard to go off of. Like the student tag is really difficult.
Yeah. There's not a 23-year-old student. So I'm grad school. So either she's not in a hurry to get a job, or she really wants a good job.
There you go. Or she's like
exciting.
Yeah. Next up, we've got the guy with the best hair on the season. Sorry, Ben. This is Jared Sang. Jared is 29 and he's a photographer.
Well, yeah, this dude rules. He looks like someone in Death Angel. I think he almost, like, looking at him, it's like, who's the American Survivor? He's
Cowboy.
the Asian. No, he's the Asian dude that always posts on Instagram he's in like John Wick movies and shit.
Parkour. Frosty.
Yeah.
What's his name? The
Frosty?
name?
Frosty.
No,
China.
Woo?
Yeah, Woo. Yep, Woo. He reminds me like a Woo meets Aussie, like meets Joe Anglim, but taking the likability factors of Woo, the water expertise and being able to fish and do all that kind of jungle shit, climb trees and whatnot. But more likable than all those characters. I'm hoping this guy has some strategy and that he's a smart player and not just one of those guys that's going to look cool on TV with his long hair dripping wet coming out of the ocean that can like, be really badass in challenges. I'm hoping this guy brings some of his experience as a photographer. I know a lot of BMX photographers that have a lot of life skills. They travel a lot. They can navigate relationships. So I'm hoping this guy is more of a gamer and not just someone cool to look at doing these fantastic challenges.
Yeah. Once again, so on Contenders versus Champions, the Asian guy that played real hard, real fast
with the glasses, he had like white bright glasses. Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be so great, and he might be my least favorite survivor of all time.
Oh no!
And so, like, I don't want to jinx this guy, so I'm gonna say I have I'm thinking Cowboy without the revelation of how to flush out the or how to neutralize the hidden immunity idol.
The credit card applications.
Credit card applications. Yes, I'm not gonna give it. So I want to like him. So I'm gonna say. I'm saying the bar low because I really built up that guy on Contenders versus Champions so big in my head, and that dude shit the bed so hard.
yeah. And I'll note again, we were talking about some of the like archetypes are a little different. Their diversity casting has a lot more depth to it than the I wouldn't make those assumptions.
Yeah, well, yeah. So like you have this idea in your head, and it's just like, yeah, that ain't that guy, and it's just like, good for you.
Yeah.
So I want to like him, so I'm not gonna jinx it.
There you go. Next up is the blonde in the back row. That is Amy Stanton. She's 23 and she's a plumber.
What's
her shirts?
I'd like to lay some pipe. Time for a blue shoe ad.
Yeah, I wonder if she has plumber crack. If she's like under a sink, if her pants are going to hang low. But how old is she?
23.
23. So wow, the same age as Annalise Wilson. But man, I think she's going to be a little more on the scrappy side. You don't hear a lot of female plumbers, especially at age 23. It's like if I had a daughter and I was like, well, what do you want to do after high school? And they said plumber, that would not be the number one thing that I would expect. So I think it's going to be expect the unexpected.
I don't know about you, Matt. I'll pay $110 just for my plumber to walk in my front door.
Oh yeah, no, I hear you.
I would pay her $110 to walk in my front door wearing a different outfit.
Yeah, so we'll see. I think this is someone that obviously, if she's a plumber at 23, she's figured it out early, kind of her path and what she wants to do. So hopefully in this game, she can kind of navigate and figure things out as well.
I like her. I like her a lot. I'm all in.
Yeah, that's speaking of new archetypes, the young 23 female plumber.
Boom.
Interesting.
Love it.
Yeah.
Right. Love it. As I said, I'm not betting the bank on her, but I think I'm gonna like this character a lot, just based on looks, occupation, age, everything else.
Yeah, and then jumping right in front of her is Jerry Malabonga. He's 25 and he is a flight attendant.
Wait, is this the guy that's kneeling down with the hat on backwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he's kneeling down.
Well, he is very short. I don't think he's that short. I think the foot is distorting it a little bit. But
No,
yeah,
he's pretty short.
Guy on the cast.
Yeah, no,
I think he's only 5'2" or 5'3". He's pretty short.
Yeah.
Flight attendant Jericho. Todd
Herzog.
Yeah, it's another Todd Herzog. Him and Pink Shorts guy, I think, are gonna right when the show starts, they're gonna be talking to each other, creating a bond. I don't know. This guy, he's got a nice smile, and but yeah, I don't have a really good read off of off of him as far as being someone that's going to go really far into the game. Real quick, so Australian Survivor, there's just like real Survivor, pre-jury, there's a merge
Mhm.
type thing.
Mhm.
Okay, I say this dude's pre-jury.
Okay. Yeah.
I
Johnny knows him, so
I met him at Hearts of Reality.
So did I.
Very,
Yeah.
very nice. Very nice.
and then jumping back into the back row again, another long-haired guy. We've got Henry Zenhen Nicholson, who is listed as 26 years old and a laborer, but he's going to go into the first episode telling everyone he's not a laborer, he is a yoga instructor.
Oh, this guy's going to kill me if he ever listens to this. Hopefully he won't, since this is Patreon only. But this
This is
dude,
free. This is for the freeloaders, Matt.
oh, fuck.
Say
Oh,
it.
God. I'm in. This guy, he looks like, and I think I said this watching Chris Underwood's pregame interviews. I haven't heard this guy speak, but he reminds me of a Chris Underwood type character. I mean, I like his long hair. I'm not getting like a Joe Anglem or Malcolm vibe from this long-haired dude. I'm getting kind of like arrogant asshole vibe from this guy. I don't know why.
Sleazy crystal salesman.
Yeah.
Like the guy that sells you the fucking crystals. It's like, dude, you don't understand. This one has powers. It's like, oh, fucking, like, let me kill you.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
God, give
Wait,
me the strength and the ability to get away with it.
But he's not really a yoga instructor. Remember, he's a laborer.
he's a laborer, but I'm just getting a Chris Underwood style, like a arrogant, like going into the game cocky. I was totally wrong pregame on Karamoan when I thought certain people were going to be certain ways and they were totally different. That's the beauty of casting. I'm hoping that this guy fucking rules and that I'm going to act like I did when Johnny and I met Wendy Diaz Twine at Hearts of Reality. We were kind of shitting on her on the show, but then we're like, dude, fuck, you fucking rule. I love you. You're one of my favorites. So, yeah, Chris Underwood, not a very likable guy, off what I'm seeing.
All right.
I've met him. I hate him. I mean, not in real life. In real life, he was beyond nice.
Yeah.
He's in my top 10 most hated survivors of all time.
Wow.
That is a hot take.
Yeah. I just don't like, as I said, just sleazy fucking crystal salesman vibe.
You're about to get his origin story, so we'll see if that holds up.
Okay.
Yeah. Next, in the turquoise tank top, we've got Odette Blacklock. She is 32 and a podiatrist.
This is Pink. It looks like she reminds me of the pop singer Pink. Podiatrist. She's what's that? She does like.
Her other pictures, she looks like Alicia Calloway.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another. Okay, so this is the only one I'm going.
Somewhere in between.
She seems like she seems like she's gonna be very nice. Maybe one of those people, like when you first meet her, she's like, "Oh my God, how are you doing? So what do you do?" Like almost overly nice to the point of being fake, but trying to also just kind of put off a good vibe so she can be in multiple alliances. I think she's going to be going to the guy that's the wedding DJ guy that never did much after high school. I think she's going to be going to him. I think she's going to be going to all the guys. I think she's going to be attracted to the men and be more of someone who aligns with men versus women.
I like this man-child AK alliance that you're developing, where he's sort of creating a harem of his own adulthood failures, and everyone's just flocking to him.
But people are gonna be like, everything I'm saying is gonna be totally fucking wrong, and I'm gonna be like, why do we listen to this fucking podcast? Guy didn't know what he was talking about. What do you think, fair play?
You don't have to be strong as a male or female to do well on Australian Survivor, but more so than not, you do. And she's strong, so I like her making it further into the game by being as strong as she is. So I think some of these weaker girls, like as I said, it doesn't guarantee you're not going to make it far, but it does not help in the Australian version of Survivor to be on the weaker side. She looks to be one of the strongest just from this one little picture. And so if that's the case, I think that takes her far into the game.
Well, I mean, I can already see if she's in a physical competition. I think from the first chicks that we have talked about, I think she could beat the asses of all of them.
So the plumber.
Yeah, well, even that. But yeah, she looks scrappy. So
yeah,
it's going to be fun to watch.
So I think that takes her further.
Yeah. Next in the back, we've got Kent with the glasses on. Kent Nelson. He's a CFO and he's 51 years old.
Didn't he used to coach the Jets? Isn't that guy?
No, different guy. This guy's Australian. Yeah.
You know the guy? Who was the guy that used to coach the Jets? Looks just like that guy.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this guy is, and I'm hoping that this dude has a fun personality like a Rick Devens.
He looks like Rick Devens' dad.
I'm hoping for Rick Devens, but I could be getting Dan Spilo.
Oh God!
No, we're not. Wait, don't even.
No. I'm not talking about Dan Spilo in the negative press that Dan Spilo got. I'm just saying, personality-wise, maybe like that type of older guy, wealthy kind of dude. You know what I mean? But he also
Rex Ryan's who.
There you go.
Yeah.
Who?
Rex Ryan, the Jets coach.
Oh, I don't even know. I don't watch football sports. I don't even know who that is.
Well, he's no longer the Jets coach.
Okay.
But he looks like
I'm hoping I'm crossing fingers that he's Rick Devens' dad.
Yeah.
Is what fair play, you put it well. Because for some reason I'm thinking Devens when I first saw this guy.
Sure. So I'm kind of an ageist, and so I hate him. And I'm just gonna stick with that. I hate Kent.
Okay.
Old people suck. You heard it here first, Johnny Fairclough. Moving on down the line to this
I hate. Whoa! I hate really young people too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This old guy is not that much older than you are, Johnny. You know, just saying.
What's that?
I said you hate this guy because he's an old guy who's only a few years older than you are.
Yeah. I'm just an age extreme. Like, yeah. So the high and low end. Like, I hate both of them. I like the middle of the pack.
And then next up, the real buff guy. This is Mark Wales. Mark Wales is a former special operations commander, and he's 37 years old.
Oh, here we go. Here, switch to the other picture real quick. Hopefully. Nope. Oh, here, I can get there. Can you see it?
I see a bright.
There we go. There we go. His face looks like a thumb.
I was like, what are you doing?
And I drew him on my thumb. I'm Mark. I suck.
For anyone who's listening to this, Johnny is holding up his thumb to the camera, and it is the spitting image of poor Mark here. Goodness.
Yeah.
So is Henry the guy that I said looks like Chris Underwood in this picture?
Yes.
Yes. See the other picture, he's like Jason Momoa. So if I was looking at the cast of that, he doesn't. I wouldn't say he's Chris Underwood. I would think this dude seems like he's going to be a pretty fucking cool guy. He just looks like a dick in the other picture. But as far as this Mark guy, he reminds me of right here in this. He looks like Silas.
He looks like Alec from David vs. Goliath too. He's like their offspring, Silas and Alec.
But this guy seems like he's going to be all challenge and competition, but zero strategy. Actually, it could be like a Colby Donaldson. Makes it far off his.
I don't want to watch this guy for long.
Physical abilities, but he just doesn't look very strategic off the bat.
No,
Matt, did you know that you have actually watched Mark Wales on television before?
This guy?
Yep, he was on World's Toughest Race.
Ah, cool. Right on. Hell
what
yeah.
team was he on?
He was on Team Aussie Rescue with Samantha Gash with the hat in the bottom row.
Yeah, but they didn't get any airtime, right?
They got one shot of them finishing because some kids ran out and greeted the team.
Okay.
So
yeah, I hate him.
Johnny's quickly hating everyone on my favorite cast.
Okay. Well, no, that means I have people I like too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Next up, looking extra derpy, is Ben Morgan, 20 years old, fast food attendant.
Oh, beyond hate. Jesus Christ, my least. For everyone that I hate on this cast, I hate Ben the most.
Well, I think this guy is going to be, who was the long-haired guy that started dating the chick that
Sebastian.
Nope, not him.
This guy looks like the poor man Sebastian. Like everything you like about Sebastian, this guy's missing.
No, I'm talking about the guy that is dating the Olympic swimmer chick.
Oh, Jack. Oh, he said 4 words the entire episode, and 2 of them are racist.
He reminds me of a Jack type character. This guy is young, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Probably the youngest guy or youngest person in general.
The youngest person,
yeah.
I think that he's going to be overwhelmed maybe by the situation.
He looks really stupid in that picture there.
Yeah, he really does look derpy, as Zach put it.
Yeah, I hate him. Yeah, he's my I want. What's that?
I see he's got shorts, 6 to 8 inches above the kneecap, kind of like a Marcus Lehman.
And nothing else about him reminds me of Marcus Lehman in any way.
Yeah, just
guarantee his bank account doesn't.
Oh man. We are done with the back row. We are through 2/3 of the cast, but it's Australian Survivor, so we got 8 more.
Okay.
And in the front, we've got just some guy called Luke Toki. He is 30 and he is a mining technician.
Yeah.
So we're going from right to left on this right now. We're going okay.
We're making it a horseshoe.
So Luke Toki, this guy, I'm seeing the tattoos. This guy seems like he's going to be sarcastic as hell, funny. He's going to be very strategic. He looks like a BMXer type guy. He's in great shape. I think he's going to kick ass in challenges. And I think he's just going to be the full package of a Survivor player. He just reminds me of one of my BMX kind of buddies from Australia. So
nice.
On first look, I've never seen him play, so I have no idea about gameplay. In context, on first look, he seemed like the kind of guy I would like, but I didn't expect much strategically. And then after talking with you, Zach, I mean, possibly, top 3 smartest players of actual gameplay, production, and everything, a total package I've ever talked to in my entire life, ever. No contest.
Yeah, the interview that Johnny and I did with him is one of the biggest deep dives into how to manage production while on the island as a contestant and how they're like the 25th player in Australian Survivor. And it is a fantastic peek into Luke's game.
And it is the exact opposite of my, we're on similar spectrums, but like almost polar opposite. It's really amazing to see 2 players that are so dynamic in thought and for what little I know, perceived aggressiveness to the game. It's real. As I said, I could literally talk to Luke every single day for a year about Survivor, and I feel like I could learn something every single day. I was beyond impressed with his mastery of everything involving Survivor. It was really, really cool.
So,
and that is not what you get on first glance of this guy.
No, again, not fitting into maybe some of the archetypes we're thinking. Again, he's listed as a mining technician. I think you don't think mining technician and strategic mastermind or like deep thought. That's not what you get, but that is what you're going to get. As we
I
saw.
think 30 years old is a big factor. I think he's not too young. He's not too old. He's the perfect age to play this game.
Johnny Fairplay Pro Islands.
There you go. It's Zach Hacker right now. Good age.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we've got Sam Gash. She's 32 and she is an endurance athlete.
Yeah. So we talked to Sam on on our coverage of the world's toughest race. You know, for anyone that would like to have a deep dive with us and Sam, check that out. It was our first episode coverage. She was joined by one of the members of Team Onyx. It was a really fun interview. If anyone hasn't checked out our coverage of World's Toughest Race, those are 3 of the best podcasts. I mean, I'll put them up against a lot of podcasts out there in the world. I'm so happy with what we did there. And Sam's extremely likable. I mean, Jesus, she did fucking Eco Challenge, World's Toughest Race. Obviously, one of the toughest survivors ever. I mean, like, think about it.
She's done a solo run across all of South Africa, across all of India. She's incredible. She's the real deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, and as I said, you know, talking with her, extremely likable. I predict Sam doing well, you know, unless, you know, someone's worried about her and then she becomes a target. But, as I said, I think physicality goes a long way. It's not the end all be all, but physicality goes a long way on Australian Survivor. At least later seasons, maybe not so much on season 2. Who knows? So, but I like her. I like her chances. So she's up there for me.
I think she's cute. I think she's going to be likable, and I think she's going to be a blast to watch because she's just going to. I don't think the elements or any of the things that they might have to go through physically is going to be a big deal to her, and based on the whole deal that you guys just said, so I think she's going to be a fun player to watch, and I think she has a chance to go far into the game.
And to her left, we've got Joan Caballero. She's 29 and she owns an escape room. She
reminds me of a female Big Tom slash who's the busted can of biscuits? I'm drawing blank. Elaine. I think Elaine Big Tom style character. I could be wrong. I don't know if there's really necessarily hillbillies in Australia like they are here.
It's like Jersey, Australia.
But, yeah, true. But I think you know, I think she's going to have a big mouth on her. I think she's going to maybe get into trouble with her mouth.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to not be able to hold back when it comes to like slipping up and screwing herself with her mouth is what I think.
I love it when a woman screws herself with her mouth. She's usually in my search engine on Pornhub.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't like her. As I said, I see Jersey, Australia. So we'll see. Prove me wrong.
You have a problem with Jersey, Johnny?
I don't. Hey.
Oh, Karen's defending her state. I like
Stop
it.
Karen, you're Baltimore. Quit it. and I love you for it. Baltimore, cool. You got a problem with Baltimore, Karen?
Yeah, but I'm a Jersey girl.
Yeah, you're still Baltimore. I think of you as Baltimore, Karen. And
how long have you been in Baltimore?
This time only 3 years. I lived there for 7 years. Then we moved back to Israel, and then another 4 here. So a total of 11 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
And I love Baltimore. As I said, Camden. I've been to more Ravens games than Panthers games, and Panthers are less than 2 hours from my house.
Certainly been to more Ravens games than I have been.
Okay. I don't know. I enjoy Baltimore a lot.
Cool. Well, right smack in the middle of the photo, we have Jackie Patterson. She's 50 and she's a wedding celebrant.
There you go.
That's
I think she's gonna be like
from an Australian. Hit me up. Does she literally just officiate weddings? Is that her full-time job? I need to know more about
that. I think so.
Yeah.
She's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks damn good.
Yeah.
She does.
I follow the fuck out of her Instagram.
I would never think she's 50. I'm excited to watch her play. I think she's got a life experience. She seems like she's going to be super friendly, easy to like. I think she's going to be a likable character. And I think she'll, even though she's older, I think she's going to be a force to be reckoned with in some of the challenges as well.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much. I have no idea how she does on this season. I did see her on Australian All-Stars, and I will say this, Matt, not really spoiler. She is a fucking beast. Holy moly. I mean, U.S. female, U.S. half the U.S. males look out. She can whoop your ass.
Yeah, she looks like a badass, dude. She's like tip top fucking physical shape, like muscles. Fucking.
She's just jacked. She's jacked on top of jacked. So I would like to see her like on the other side of if you have Sarah Lucina on one side on one tribe, I'd like to see Jackie on the other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's high praise.
Yeah.
Sitting beside her, wearing a Hogwarts hat, if you're a Harry Potter fan, is Tessa O'Halloran. She's 29 and she's a doctor.
I hope she wins. Because she got my wife's name. That's all I got to say. I haven't met many Tessas. That's pretty cool. Tessa O'Halloween, doctor. 29.
Jesus Christ! Could you? For those of you that are not patrons, on Q&As, Matt used to read the questions, but he butchered the patrons' names so horrifically that we now have patrons. We pick a different patron each week. So if you become a patron, you can ask the questions or read the questions and ask your own questions. And not butcher the names severely as Matt Bischoff throws scalpels at names.
He got the Tessa part right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I
have
like
Annalise and Halloween. I love it.
Yeah.
Tessa, she looks very smart. It's hard to say. I mean, with the hat on.
Would you say she's smarter than Annalise?
Yeah, I think she's smarter than Annalise, but not. But she's going to be more scrappy than Samantha Gash, but smarter than Annalise. But I like this chick. I think she looks very cool. That's a stupid description, but she looks very cool. But the fact that
you're quite the wordsmith.
Like
you're painting the picture.
First name Tessa, last name after one of my favorite holidays, Halloween, and she's a doctor, so she's gonna be smart. So we saw Dr. Allison in American Survivor. We'll see how Tessa does, but I'm already a fan.
Yeah, to me she looks like I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. She looks like a Sammy from Days of Our Lives.
I watched Days of Our Lives when I was a kid, but I don't remember.
That girl Sammy, she's hosted some other shows since then. Let me pull up the actress name. Could have done that while you were mispronouncing everyone's name. Here we go. Sammy Days of Our Lives. Sammy Brady. Oh, that's the fictional character. Never mind. Allison Sweeney.
Oh, okay. I know who Allison Sweeney is, sure. Yeah, she was also the host. She was the host of The Biggest Loser for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's right on. Well, here's the other interesting thing.
She looks like her.
I have zero clue. Like so. In other words, if I was doing a cast assessment based on looks only, and I knew that
that's what we're doing.
Yep.
I know, but I'm saying in America.
Let's start over. Welcome to Survivor NSFW. Oh, sorry.
It's almost midnight, Johnny. Don't even think about it.
So what I'm saying is, I would know, Las Vegas, New Jersey, this is Kentucky. You kind of know this guy's a hillbilly. This guy's this.
I think that's the cool thing about watching Australian Survivor.
But what I'm saying, though, if you let me finish without fucking shutting your mouth, I don't know any part. If it says New South Wales and Western, I know nothing about the different areas of Australia. I've been to Brisbane, Australia, but it's hard for me to be able to kind of tell from where they are geographically. That's why it's kind of more difficult. I could be totally wrong based off of where these people are from. You know what I mean? Not knowing that is hard.
Yeah, so I haven't been giving their home states in Australia because that seems, like Matt said, we don't really know what that means. But generally, right, New South Wales is where Sydney is, Victoria is where Melbourne is, and then Western Australia is huge.
But I'm saying as far as like country, like you got the Tina Wessons, you got the Tanya Vances, the Big Toms, you got the Northern California, you know what I mean? Like the Miami, Florida, the Jersey. So that's going to be interesting to kind of see from the parts of the country. I mean, it's, how Survivor's US is typically they have quite, they got the LA and the New York people, but they have people from other walks of life. Yeah. Based off of Australia, is this a pretty broad spectrum of people, would you say, Zach, as far as location and shit?
Location wise, probably no. Like if you run down that list, there's no one from Northern Territory and there's no one from Tasmania. I think a lot of these people are from the big cities of Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth kind of deal, but they do a pretty good job. I mean, Australia's population is also divided a little differently in terms of location versus the US. So.
Yeah.
I think they do a good job of getting lots of different types of people from lots of different places, whether it represents the geographical diversity of Australia, not so much.
Right on.
But again, if you're Australian, just tell me to shut the fuck up and I don't know what I'm talking about.
That's probably what's going to happen. Chris Dixon, fucking comment on how dumb we are.
Yeah.
I like Tessa. So that's where I'm at. As I said, the Hogwarts hat goes a long way in this house. Where I'm a Slytherin. My daughter's a Ravenclaw. My other daughter's a Slytherin. We're good.
Oh yeah.
Final last three to take a look at. We've got Ziggy next. Ziggy is 26 and she is an Olympian.
First glance, I was thinking Sophie Clark. The
whoa.
Not that I don't
show him the other picture. And you will not think that at all.
Okay. Yeah, where's the other bit? Okay, who am I looking for here?
Ziggy.
Bottom right.
Ziggy.
Kind of cute.
Oh, yeah.
Not
I like the name Ziggy. Olympian. Do you know what?
Swimming.
Swimming. Okay, Olympic swimmer. So she's going to hopefully be someone to watch out for in challenges. Ziggy. With a name, a nickname like Ziggy, I think she is probably going to have a big personality. She's got a great smile, and I'm hoping she's going to be likable. She looks like oh damn, I'm so terrible with freaking names. So
Danielle De Lorenzo.
No, the chick that played. With Poverty, like a long time ago, she played multiple times.
Danielle De Lorenzo.
No, I forget.
Amanda Kimmel.
Yes, Amanda Kimmel.
She played with me.
Yeah, I see why you're saying that.
Thanks for remembering that.
But I like Ziggy. We'll see how she does.
Yeah. Olympic swimmer. I mean, as I said before, I think challenges mean a lot in Australia's version. Whether it does or not in season 2, we'll find out. So I like her chances making it far.
Yeah.
Nice. Second last, Michelle Dugan, another familiar face for Johnny. She's 33 and she is a nanny.
How's she a familiar face for me?
Well, maybe not. She was on All Stars.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
She's very pretty. I think she's going to. I think she's going to make an alliance with the women. I could see her and Tessa and oh crap, the 50-year-old woman that's
Jackie.
a beast in the middle, and Gash. I think it's gonna be one of those girl alliance type deals.
Are they gonna bring in high school loser AK or?
I don't know, dude. I mean, looking at this, I actually the fourth guy that we talked about,
the 135-minute mark, AK high school loser.
I think the guy with the beard and the red hat, the fourth guy we did with the white cutoff shirt.
Lockie.
Yeah, I think she's gonna hit it off with him.
Oh, potential showmance between Michelle and Lockie. All right, watch out.
But I like this chick. I like her style. I'm liking what I see, and I think she's gonna be someone that is one of my favorites this season.
Man, we need to get some graphics of like checks and X's of who Johnny hates and who Johnny loves. So,
do you think she's going to be like
save a lot of money just buying checks?
She's going to be like a Libby character, just the typical, just like cute girl that doesn't touch type person.
Sure, Libby didn't do that good.
So, yeah, I don't know. I like this chick.
Okay.
All right.
And last
and maybe not least, we've got Tara, or as they say, Tara Pitt. She is 32 and she's a barrel racer.
Gotta love a barrel racer, huh?
Yeah, Sierra Dawn Thomas vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that means?
What did you think it means, Johnny?
I thought it was like rolling barrels, racing people.
No.
You think she's on horses going between barrels?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what it meant until I actually saw like footage of her doing it. So
okay, well, I was much more impressed imagining her like pushing beer barrels, racing, like the world's toughest man contest. I was just like, man, this chick is fucking tough as fuck. Yeah, that's much less impressive, riding horses through barrels.
I think she's gonna. I think her and Devin's dad, and T-Bird, are gonna hit it up.
Tarzan.
Yeah, Tarzan. Exactly. I mean, I feel bad saying this, but she's only 32.
She seems like she has an old vibe.
When I first saw this, I'm thinking like Janet the lifeguard from Survivor.
Yeah, I looked. I said, young Janet was the first thing I thought as soon as I saw her.
Yeah. I mean, both pictures we have, that I think is a fair assessment.
Yeah. So that's who I was getting, the vibe from. I like Janet. So yeah, young Janet, and like I said, alliance. She's going to be talking to Devin's dad. And Tarzan and whoever else I said. Yeah, maybe even Michael Payne, the first guy we the guy right. Yeah. So yeah, man, I like this cast. It's I can't wait to listen to how fucking wrong I was on about every damn person I talked about.
So now here's a fun bit where I get to ask you who your winner pick is, just based on looking at their photos and knowing their job and age.
Okay, hold on. Winner pick. Oh, let me see here. Bearded guy, the fourth guy we did.
Lockie.
Lucky.
Yep.
All right. So you heard it here. There's going to be a big alliance spearheaded by AK, and all the women are endeared by his failures in life post high school, and he's going to scoop them all up into a big alliance. There'll be a showmance between Lockie and Michelle, and there's going to be some old guys and girls alliance between Tara, who's not old, Kate, Kent, and Tarzan.
Sweet.
This is going to be good. I can't wait.
All right.
So, I mean, was there any for Karen? So you've been listening, and Zach, was there any shit your pants moments on anything Fair Play or I said, good or bad? Like, oh my god, he's so fucking wrong. Or just was there any like?
You're going to be surprised by a few things. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely. Right. There were like 3 moments in particular that we'll play back once you meet these characters, because I was like having a really hard time not making it obvious that I was having a big emotional reaction.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right. So once again, this is the free preview. If you'd like to support the podcast, go to adfree.nsfw.com. That's always the rule. However, starting next Monday night, I guess they'll drop. Yeah, I guess Monday night. Starting next Monday night, we will drop these. It'll be late. Every Monday night, you will get a link on Survivor NSFW on our Patreon page. You'll get a link. It's only for patrons. You get a link to watch the show, and then we will do a podcast talking about the episode after the show. So each week there'll be both. So you missed Survivor, we missed Survivor. Here's your chance. Watch a season of Survivor you probably have never seen before. And if you have seen it, watch it again with us. It can be fun. We, the world's not back to normal yet. So this is the closest thing that we could think of to make it normal for all of us. We got 26 weeks. This is going to be a fun ride. It starts next Monday. Become a patron now. Go to adfree.nsfw.com. So any price level will get you this. So, the $5 level, $10, whatever, the $10 gets you all the other stuff. So, but $5 gets you all the coverage of this. So check it out.
Right on.
There it is. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you. Cheers. Looking forward to it.